My presentation is entitled In-Woods Whole Tree Chipping Operation, an example using Farming Simulator 22. Logging is extremely important to forestry, and without the ability to harvest and receive some revenue, landowners essentially can't practice forestry. With rising fuel costs, insurance, and inflation in general, logging operations are becoming even more financially strained. And beyond that, currently the majority of machine operators in the logging industry are older and are nearing retirement age. Thus, we need for our younger generations to become more interested in the logging profession. Plus, due to the high amount of investment for logging equipment and the associated maintenance and operating costs, we need for this younger generation to be trained to efficiently and safely operate equipment while not damaging themselves, others, and the equipment. Thus, the use of simulators. And there are professional simulators, however, the cost of these simulators is rather large. And this is an example from John Deere and Tigercat. These are probably $30,000 to $40,000. There are other more basic professional simulators, probably $500 to $1,000. However, with Farming Simulator, assuming the person already owns the computer and the screen, for around $500 for the purchase of the software and associated hardware, a person can gain skills to operate several pieces of equipment that are regularly used in southern forest harvesting operations. And this is from John Deere and this is from Tigercat. And you can see that much of the modern logging equipment, right, the skills required to operate this equipment are essentially in line or similar to gaming. The joysticks and the ability to interface with the computer are much of kind of what many skills that our younger generation have. Here's a basic and a full. This is Ponzi. They're basic and full simulators. And this is a little bit misleading because the basic is just the laptop and then the joysticks. And the joysticks can be mounted onto a desk. And so basically, right, this is similar to what Farming Simulator could be. Just a laptop with the software, and then you could have the associated hardware. And here's the full simulator. Now this is probably like $30,000 to $40,000, and you can see you have a fairly realistic experience of running this equipment. But here's the chair and your joysticks and your interface with your computers within the machine. So these are very similar to what you're going to see, right, within the actual equipment. And you can gain skills for operating the actual equipment using these simulators. So here's a person's setup for Farming Simulator 22, much to what we just saw with the full Ponzi. Now this is a higher end setup for Farming Simulator 22 or 19, but you have 3 screens and you have your joysticks and your pedals. And so you can see that you can make this Farming Simulator 22 setup very similar to how an actual piece of equipment would be ran. And once again, here's a professional simulator with the 3 screens and the joysticks and the pedals. So much like this person has here, but likely at a reduced cost. So here's another person setup, a little bit less sophisticated, and they have smaller screens. And here's the joysticks with their chair. And here's the actual Farming Simulator 22 operating within the equipment. And you can see that it actually gives you a fairly realistic representation of the actual operating the equipment at a fairly low cost. So definitely users could gain experience operating this professional equipment with Farming Simulator 22. And here's 2 joysticks that I purchased, and I'm hoping to set up similar to more professional simulators, Farming Simulator 22. Thank you. And this video is going to end with around a 3-minute video of an in-woods chipping operation that you may see here in the Southeast, just as an example of the graphics and the equipment that you can find within Farming Simulator 22. And there you have the ability to conduct other forest harvesting operations as well.